Dear sisters, I'm a 38 years old lady, and my ex and I have dated for 4 years, and we also went our separate ways. I was married for 10 years with 4 kids. Things didn't work out in the marriage. My husband always tells me that he married me out of pity because by the time he met me, I had been separated with my ex. Now we are divorced. My ex is back and wants us to be together again. He is also having 4 kids and is divorced. I'm still having affections for him, but I'm scared and a bit worried because of the number of children that we have together and don't know what to do now. Should I accept him back or ignore and focus on my children? I'm confused and sometimes feel really lonely. Please help me. What do I do? Olivia, I'm going to start with you.
I find it confusing though. I'm a little bit confused. Like, so she wants to,
okay, so
I'm just trying to figure out, like,
yeah.
So she's moved on from her ex. She
moved on from her ex, and then she got married, and the marriage did not work because the man was always saying, you know, I married you out of pity.
Okay.
Yes, obviously it can't work. Okay. And she has 4 kids with her husband, and now this ex that she was with before she, you know, she met, you know, the one she left before she met her husband too, has also.
So she has 4 kids, and he also has 4 kids.
So
now
they will have 8 kids if they come back together. If they ever come back together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering the foundation of the relationship before it broke up.
Yes,
and the question is,
exactly.
do you, like a dog, do you want to go back to eating your vomits? Like literally. Like, if it was so good, why didn't it work? And I don't know. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it, because then again, to some people might say that, okay, they've all grown up, they've gone through their mistakes, maybe if they come back together, maybe they might be able to work things out, and maybe they are more mature now. So it's, for me, it's a tough case. For me, I wouldn't go back. Right. That's just me. Right. I wouldn't go back.
Why?
I wouldn't go back because I've been there, done that, probably had a heartbreak. And do I really want to go back?
Right.
And probably sex was great. I don't know. There must be a particular reason as to why she's considering taking him back. And she's probably also wondering that, okay, she's got 4 kids. Who else will want to love her? So, like, you know, and she's thinking, okay, who is going to marry her? I'm not saying that's a no. But there are people out there who would love you and accept you. But you're probably, again, wondering, like, you know, at the end of the day, you know this guy, you've been with him, you know his weaknesses, you know his strengths.
Like the devil, you know, is better than the angel that you just met. Yeah.
You know, you've been intimate with him. So it's like you're going back to a familiar environment, something that feels not quite safe, but better than something that you don't know, because you want to avoid the whole world of the unknown. For me, the fact that you're going to get the kids again emotionally meddled up in a relationship that's been topsy-turvy, I wouldn't jump into a relationship like that. I would think twice, and maybe I would have been able to make an informed decision if I had known what broke you up to start with. Was it a cheating matter? Could he cheat on you again? Was it, like, it could be anything. Why did you leave? And why would you want to go back again to that person? Like the first story, this person was being verbally, like, you know, you don't know why, but I wouldn't go. Right. I wouldn't go back. I will take the odds and go with them, because it's going to be tough, because I always say that if people were comfortable enough to mistreat you in your relationship with them, right, and you go back to them, they're not going to change. If anything else, they expect you to appreciate them for who they are, and they would expect that you understand, because you should know that it's not new. It's almost like, but you should know who I am. Like, if he cheated on you and you're back again with him and you cheat while you're with him, he will tell you that, like, what's the biggie? Like, you know me. I just wouldn't do that. I would rather take my time, focus on my children. Right now, my children are my investments. Focus on them, have peace of mind, try as much as possible to bring them up in the way of the Lord. And if somebody really good and genuine comes up, then
great, yeah.
great. But I wouldn't go back to eating the vomit. Nah, he's cute.
Rosie.
Well, I feel like people evolve. Like the first story we just read. So sometimes the tricky thing about dealing with exes is that you think they are the ex you left. The way the emotions were, the kind of things you thought they were capable of, not capable of. Sometimes you feel the same ex 10 years down the line is the same ex that you left. You are still in love with that 10 years ago person. But over 10 years, whilst you were busily making your family and having your babies, and he was also busily making his family and having his babies, the truth is that he's not the same person 10 years ago. Neither are you. And sometimes that's a tricky thing with meddling with your exes. You both feel, and especially if, let's say, it was a first love both ways, both of you met first love untouched by nobody else, you were together, joined at the hip, you know, because then she's 38, she's been married for 10 years. So I'm thinking that if this is an ex that they had, maybe they started dating like 24, 25, probably the first boyfriend she's had, probably. I'm just thinking that that man you want to go to is probably not the same man you know. And having married a man who kept putting you down consistently, telling you that they married you out of pity, you've also gone through some emotional scarring. So you would also not probably be the sweetest, most loving, you know, just carefree woman that you used to be. Anytime this ex now probably, if this ex becomes your boyfriend, when he starts doing certain things, it will take you back.
It will trigger you.
It will trigger you to that emotional state where somebody is telling you that I married you out of pity. So my dad told me one time that, look, listen, never go back to your ex. And that when you go back to your ex, it's two things. One, maybe truly, they've realized their mistakes and they want to be with you. But that is 0.00001%. The actual deal is to teach you the lesson they didn't teach you before.
to finish
the thing. To finish you. And the first time I ever went back to my ex, I experienced it live and college. So for me, I believe that
as for 10 yards.
Let me say me try. I remember papa old fashioned, old school. You know, and I got bent. So I'm just saying that, look, going back to an ex, especially over 10 years, I personally would not advise it. Unless, of course, the circumstance for the breakup was because of some natural, maybe it wasn't a serious relationship. Like it was one of those letter writing relationships, one went to school somewhere, you went to school somewhere. It's not like a proper relationship that ended up in a very painful breakup. Unless it's something of the sort, like we are playing sort of like relationship and then you sort of like just different, you know, locations or something that broke you up. Apart from that, I don't see any reason why you should go back to your ex. Now you have 4 children to deal with. Look, children are a blessing. You have 4 of them. It's enough time to occupy you. I think that you should concentrate on them, concentrate on yourself, and for a man to constantly tell you that they married you out of pity, I don't know whether that is why you want to jump into another relationship. And the fact that you want to be with your ex, you're already thinking about merging your children. It means already you are thinking about marrying your ex. So you are somebody that wants to jump from one marriage into another marriage.
I think it's obvious that she's a very attached person.
So I think that she should allow herself to heal of everything that's her.
Breathe.
Yeah, to breathe, you know, to sort of like enjoy herself, kakra, enjoy her singledom. I mean, if it's marriage, you've done it already. There are pictures to show for it. No rush. If it's kids, you have 4 kids. Charlie, no need to want to add more. So allow yourself to be single, enjoy yourself, go to places, travel, do things with your children, and that is where you probably meet someone who probably doesn't have children of his own. And probably doesn't want to take another woman through that whole process and says, look, I want to spend time with you for the rest of my life. It will come naturally. Or somebody who even has 10 children.
Yes.
But the way the relationship will present itself, you won't be thinking about having 14 children in the house. Because it will not be something you have to think about. The fact that you are thinking about it, it means that there's probably a trait in this ex that having the 8 children might be a problem. So my thing is that take your time, relax, chill. Allow yourself. As for this ex, just chill on it small. Allow yourself to breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, Sisha.
Okay. So there are a couple of things I agree with my sisters. The others I don't quite agree with them. But let me take it from my own scratch. That more than 8 billion people on the planet. That's number one. Sometimes when we are in our small corner, we don't see that. When you are living in Chado or living in Weja, you think that's it. My church, my small group of people, sister, you think that's it. There are 8 billion people, more than 8 billion people on the planet. It sounds odd or weird when you hear the number, but that's how many people are on the planet. That people always say, oh, after 4 children, you're most likely done. No, you are not done. Your life is just beginning. Now, secondly, what is it that broke up the two of you, your relationship? Thirdly, what broke up he and his wife? What was he doing in that marriage that it had to end? He also has 4 kids, right? Was he abusive? Was he cheating on this woman? Because for me, these 2 things are a no-no. Even if it's not me you did it to, so long as that was what broke up you and your wife, you and I can't be. Yeah. And I think a lot of women don't look at things from this perspective because they think I'm special. You know how when your big sisters or aunties are telling you stories about how men are, you start to think, oh, old school, you this one, it can't happen to me. And then you grow up and the same thing happens to you. Oh my God. How did that happen? You are not special. You are special, but you're also not that special. Men are men. Some traits just do not change in men. An abusive man who was abusing, I remember recently, let me tell you a story. I was dating this guy who was very abusive at some point, and then he cheated and started going out to this other. I went to catch the 2 of them actually, and then he started going out to this other girl, and say a couple of months, 6 months down the line, here's the same guy cheating on this girl to the point that the girl was holding a car. The girl saw him in the car with another girl, and he held the car, and the guy drove the car so like with such speed that the girl's knee like
scripted, yeah.
And the girl went to a salon where I fix my nails and was complaining and crying to the nail lady. That's how I heard the story. And I was like, wow. What was she thinking? That she was special? You see, a lot of women do that. Yes. When a man is abusing another woman, you think, oh, it can't happen to me. He can't do that to me. Who are you? Are you God? He can do it to you. And he can do it to 10 other women if we don't stop him. So these reasons are reasons for me that if these are any of the reasons why his marriage ended, she shouldn't get into any relationship with him. Now, that being said, people change. Contrary to popular belief, people change. But why are they changing? Are they changing because they think now you've upgraded, now you're looking good? Or they are changing because they've hit rock bottom and they know that I've repented and I have changed? What is it? You need to ask questions. You need to probe. You need to observe. You need to study someone to know if I want to get into a relationship with you again or not. But if these 2 reasons are why the 2 of you's relationship ended or his relationship with his wife ended, I would say no, please don't go for it. There are 8 billion people on the planet. There are so many men. Do you know men are more than women? But society makes it look like women are more than yes. Unfortunately, most of them have turned gay, but still, they are men. Last time I was asking a friend of mine, hey, what if my husband has turned gay? And I'm sitting here waiting. Yes, you know, what if my future husband has turned gay?
Yes.
But seriously.
Then he wasn't meant for you. Because he could have married you and still ended up being gay.
You know, but the point is, if your own has not turned gay, please wait. Your right man will come. Let's not rush into things and think that this is the only one for me. If this one doesn't work, nothing else works. That intent and perspective towards life in itself will keep you in a place that if you had just left, if you had just had faith and moved on, you would find people. There's a woman I follow on Instagram who got divorced in Nigeria at, I think, 40-something, moved to the US with her 2 children, and remarried to this white guy. And they're happy, and they're living their life, they're traveling all over the place. The white guy also has 2 kids from a previous relationship. It's beautiful. You know, we always think, oh, Charlie, the comfort zone is some place that nobody grows. So for me, if I have to go back, but there are other options, I'll take the other options any day, you know. But again, if the man is someone that maybe you didn't think that he could afford to take care of you at the time that you guys broke up, and you didn't think, oh, he was intelligent enough or wealthy enough to take care of you, and those were the reasons why you broke up, and now you think, okay, he can afford to take care of my 4 kids and his 4 kids. He has a life now, he's improved, he's become a man, he's evolved into himself, then by all means go for it. So it's all about the reasons why for me.
But to quickly add to what Stitcher is saying, I honestly don't think that this woman is in the right frame of mind to be making up a decision about being married to this guy right now.
I feel like it's too early.
It's too early because, you know, she's coming from an abusive marriage. Her relationship with this guy didn't quite work out. So she's always been in a position of, you know, people not treating her right, that she cannot even, her mind cannot fathom being, she doesn't know what it's like to be in a relationship that is just good. And until she takes a step back to sit, to reflect, to work on herself, to decide, this is me, these are the mistakes I've made, these are the decisions I've made that didn't go quite well with me. What kind of life do I now want for myself? You see, what kind of life do I want my children to have? What kind of role model in a man do I want my daughters to have because of what I've been through? Because then the cycle is going to repeat, because now your children, unfortunately, don't have any good example to go by because of all the things that you've been through. I feel like you shouldn't rush to get into the next relationship. And please, by all means, I honestly don't think you should be with your ex all over again, making the same.
How long has she been divorced that she's going back?
I think she's been divorced for about no.
She didn't say.
It wasn't
She didn't
mentioned.
say.
Yeah,
But
it
so
wasn't
maybe
mentioned.
if
But
she's
she
been
has
divorced
for say 4 years.
Exactly.
It's a fair time.
But my
But her story didn't sound like she's been divorced for
long.
4 years,
But
because
my
the
thing
story
is-
said
So
she was in the
she
ex.
dated for 4 years with her ex, and then she's been married for 10 years with 4 kids.
And now she's divorced.
So
And now
now
she's
she's
divorced,
divorced.
yeah.
So my take is, even no matter, you know, how you wait is also very important.
Yeah.
You can't just wait.
Yeah.
How you wait is very important.
Yeah.
How you wait on God, how you see God's face, how you work on yourself, your mental health, the rejuvenating of yourself as a woman. Like, you need to find who you are. You need to find your purpose. Your purpose doesn't always necessarily have to be with somebody
With a man,
else.
yeah.
Because this marriage thing that we talk about lightly, it can make or mar your destiny. So you need to be in a positive space and have at the back of your mind your children. So don't rush at all. Take your time, reinvest, recalibrate,
Just everything, re-event.
It's okay, and know that it is okay to be single for now.
Right.
It is okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
And so one last thing I wanted to add was that sometimes when it comes to these breaks and staying alone with the children, we often think that because of the children, we need that situation to happen. But trust me, children are more resilient than we think they are.
Yeah.
And children can sense and smell an unhappy parent a mile away, and it affects them. When a split is necessary, the children actually thrive and are happier, and they are more
When it
productive. And they will forgive you in future for that decision you made years ago.
And respect you.
And respect you for that decision. So I think that maybe if the reason for trying to get hooked again is because she wants to have that ideal situation of a marriage, it's not a reason to want to jump into one. Take your time. Their children, they'll sort themselves out.
Right.
They'll sort themselves out.
But do you know, Rosie, I'll add this quickly for my sister. Do you know that if a lot of people, and you said it in your submission, which is why I'm bringing it up again, a lot of people think, once you have children, go to places with your children and live life with your children, it will make you happy.
I don't think
so. Me, I have children.
There are things that the children cannot do for you.
Kids cannot do for me. Okay, and I still need a man. I need a man. So
it's just temporary. It's just temporary. It's just temporary.
Temporarily.
It's
For
temporal.
now,
It's
you need to
temporal.
find yourself.
It's temporal,
and
so that you can
attract
attract
positive
correct
energy.
people. That's
And
all.
then
Somehow you are
positive
waiting
energy
you,
for people
but I need a man.
Anyway,
We know.
That's one way.
I This actually has been very, very, very interesting. Thank you for your educative and exciting, points that you made. And once more, thank you for a beautiful episode.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, I will be sharing my final thoughts. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is Sister right here on City TV and on 97.3 City FM. So we've read 2 letters. You actually sent in 2 letters, one by a man and one by a woman. So I'm just going to share my final thoughts on both of the letters. And remember, this show is brought to you by Gino because Gino truly cares. All right, so my first thoughts on the first letter. Let's go through it again. So basically, the first letter is about this man married to a woman. They've been married for a while, and then all of a sudden he feels like he wants to separate. He's contemplating separation just because he feels like she's not upgrading herself or she's not evolving while he's evolving, and he is cheating and somehow tells us he loves his wife and he's just cheating because he wants her to change. First of all, thank you for sending in your letter. It's not easy for men to send out letters, but thank you for sending in your letter and thank you for trusting us to talk about it. But my own thought about this thing is, I think you might also be contributing to her not, evolving, because from the tone of your letter, I feel like you probably might be pushing too hard. You probably might be a very controlling person. And obviously you said, I am cheating, and she knows, and I am cheating because I want her to change. So it's like a subtle thread, okay? Not even, it's like a very bold thread written on the wall, written on our faces. Like you throw it on her face. Look, if you don't change, I have this person. And I think that's a very unfair thing to do as a husband. Did you ever try to communicate with her? Did you have that talk with her? Did you even make a move, like the sister said, like take her for a makeover, maybe invite a makeup artist, take her out shopping, and then be the one to pick out the things you even want to see your wife wear? Like there should be that sort of play, communication, that, that kind of help from your own side too, before you even try to do what you do. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize that when you emotionally abuse someone for a very long time, it also has an effect to the brain. I'm not a psychologist, but I have read a lot. And sometimes those people are no longer self-aware. It shrinks their brain, it thins their brain. They begin to act like children. So they are no longer self-aware, and they're just there. They just, whatever it is, whatever abuse you want to throw on me, yeah, I'm just here, And if that's the case, then you need to check yourself too. Maybe you don't hit her. Maybe you don't. Well, there could be signs of verbal abuse here, because you're emotionally abusing her already. So I think, first of all, you need to check yourself. Check how you're, passing your message, and do you really need another person to show her that you need to change? So that means you're a bad person somehow. I'm sorry to say, you're a bad person because you are cheating and smearing it on her face and telling her that, okay, I'm cheating because you don't want to change. So you check yourself first. Maybe you need to change. You are the problem. And maybe when that happens, then it begins to, flow down. The communication, everything begins to flow down more positively and not negatively. Because right now you want us to know that, oh, she's the bad person so badly. Yeah, she might have her issues, but you have a bigger issue. Big, big, big issue. In as much as she has hers, you need to fix yourself too. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you the truth. Anyway, when it comes to the second letter, the issue about going back to your ex, how we fought children, I just want to say this, and I hate to say this, I think we like marriage too much. Women, we like marriage. Marriage. Everybody wants to marry. Yeah, but somehow it's not everybody that needs to marry. Let's be realistic. We like marriage. Marriage is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. But it also depends on how you go about. So you left one relationship, marriage, and now you want to go back. You're not even thinking about how the relationship will be. You just want to marry at once. So that means anybody that comes to you and say, oh, baby, you are fine, you are thinking marriage. Like, why are you thinking marriage so quick? Like, must you marry any man that talks to you? That's my problem in this whole letter. Like, okay, your ex wants to come back. Now you're thinking marriage, or a beautiful, we have a picture together and the children, there are plenty of children around us. Why? Even if you want to go back to him, which I'm not saying you should, because at the end of the day, it also depends on what happened before you broke up. If it's abuse, if it was abusive, any kind of abuse though, and if it was very negative, and I still feel like probably you have a bit of Stockholm syndrome, you are kind of connected to your abusers. So that's why I think you should take a break. Love yourself. Date yourself. Have fun with yourself. I know it's not easy, especially with someone that has been so attached to a lot of people. Like, just calm down. Oh, God, I don't know how to say this. It's not easy, but try to have a relationship with yourself. Give yourself a break, for your mind, for your body, for your soul. Are you not tired? Like, just take it easy. Anyway, thank you for sending in your letters, and I hope this actually helps. Remember that we're not trying to be harsh with you or anything, but these are also what we feel that can help you. All right, and once more, thank you so much for sending in your letters. If you're wondering how can I be part of this show by sending in my letters, all you need to do is send your letters via sisterislive@gmail.com, and please use the hashtag sister when you are putting out your thoughts or your comments, especially on Twitter and on Twitter, now X, and on Facebook. My name is Chris Carter, and this has been a wonderful episode, and a very big thank you to our sponsor, Gino. Gino truly cares. See you next week.
Sister is proudly sponsored by Gino. Gino truly cares.